Cash versus accrual. The age-old debate, like to be or not to be. Or is the glass half full or is it half empty? This is actually one of the most fundamental topics to understand in finance and accounting, as it could dramatically change what information means on the financial statements under each approach. Let's do a deep dive on how they both work. To start, go ahead and download this infographic right here and this Excel sheet. All right, so cash versus accrual represents the accounting method used when preparing financial statements. Here, as you can see, I have a tax return. And the IRS is asking me whether I use the cash basis of accounting or the accrual basis of accounting in the numbers that I'm reporting. So let me break down the difference between these two in the context of reading a profit and loss. See, a profit and loss tells you about your income and your expenses. That's why it's oftentimes called an income statement. But how do you define income? You may say, well, income is when I make money, right? Okay, but how do you define making money? See, under the cash basis of accounting, that means someone paid you money in exchange for your services or your product. But under the accrual basis of accounting, it actually means something different. It means that you delivered your product or service to someone and generated a sale, regardless of whether they paid you or not. Put differently, under the cash basis of accounting, you recognize income and expenses whenever money enters or leaves your bank account, for the most part. Under the accrual basis of accounting, you recognize income and expenses based off when you actually earned that income or when you actually incurred that expense. So let's go through an example with a business that goes door to door selling chocolate bars. I knock on someone's door and say, "Hi, would you like to buy a chocolate bar?" And somehow I convince the guy to buy 100 chocolate bars for $2 each. But he tells me he's got to go to the bank to pay me, and he promises that he'll forward me the money tomorrow. Sure, I tell him, but don't forget, if you don't pay, I know where you live. Under the cash basis of accounting, I'm not really recognizing any income in my P&L because I didn't receive money yet. But under the accrual basis of accounting, I'll recognize this income, since the accrual basis of accounting cares about when you earned the income by delivering your product or service. Tomorrow then, when this guy pays me, if I'm under the cash basis of accounting, now I'll recognize my income in my P&L. Under the accrual basis, I'm not recognizing anything. I'm just transferring amounts from one asset to another, from accounts receivable to cash. And the same is true for an expenses. Okay, check out this example. Let's say I purchase an ad in the newspaper that will run for the next 12 months, once every single month for $1,200. And, well, does anyone actually still read a newspaper? Don't you just read things on your phone? I'm starting to wonder if this was actually a good investment. Okay, let's say I paid $1,200 to the ad agency. Under the cash basis, I have a $1,200 expense for this month since I paid $1,200. But under the accrual basis, I'll only record this as an expense after each and every single ad gets published. So after the first ad goes out, I'll have $100 in expenses, $1,200 divided by 12. Next month, when the ad goes out again, I'll record another $100. The balance of what I paid will be put to an asset account on my balance sheet called prepaid expenses, which is what it sounds like. Expenses that I prepaid but didn't yet consume. Okay, great. So to summarize, the cash basis for the most part recognizes income when you receive cash and recognizes an expense when you pay for something. The accrual basis recognizes income when you actually earn the income by delivering your product or service, and recognizes expenses when you actually incur the benefits of that expense. But there are some important things to note about this distinction. First, just because you received cash doesn't mean that you actually have income under the cash basis of accounting. For example, you may be getting a refund for something, like those ads in the newspapers. I still just don't get, why would you read a physical newspaper? Why wouldn't you just go on your phone and... Okay, you can also receive money in other ways, like say an investment or a loan. Neither of those would really be considered income. They would instead show up on your balance sheet, under your liabilities if it's debt, or under your equity if it's an investment. Which brings me to point number 2. Just because you pay for something also doesn't mean that you have an expense. So for example, maybe you just processed a refund for a customer who got sick from your chocolate bars. That would be a reduction in your income, not an expense. But a more common example is if you go out and buy chocolate bars to later sell. We call that inventory. And under both methods of accounting, it would still show up on your balance sheet as an asset called inventory. Okay, point number 3. The cash basis is a lot simpler to use when preparing financial statements. Think about it. If you see a charge in your bank account for $1,200 and you know that this is for ads in the newspaper that you just purchased, you just need to classify that amount directly to a line item on your P&L like advertising expense. But if this was the accrual basis, well, now you first need to put the amount onto your balance sheet, then it needs to go under prepaid expenses, and each month you need to do a journal entry to take 1/12 of that amount, which will be $100, putting that into your P&L under advertising expense, reducing your prepaid account. As you can see, it gets a lot more complicated and involves a lot more work. But it may be worth it because of point number 4. The accrual basis does a better job of explaining what actually is happening in your business. Remember, the accrual basis shows your income after you actually earn that income, and your expenses after you actually incur those expenses. This gives you a much better idea into the performance of your business and then what you have in your assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. For that reason, oftentimes larger companies will opt for the accrual basis of accounting, but in some instances, you won't actually have a choice. And that brings me to point number 5. Under generally accepted accounting principles, or GAAP, you must use the accrual basis of accounting. Okay, if you don't know what generally accepted accounting principles are, they are generally accepted accounting principles. What I mean is they are a set of rules for what you must follow in order to be in compliance with how you report your financial information. And certain companies must use GAAP, such as public companies. That's right, a public company can't report its financial statements using the cash basis of accounting. It must use the accrual basis of accounting. And that's my take on cash versus accrual accounting. But like all things in life, there's a lot more that I could share. But I'll let you chime in the comments below for what else you feel should be included on this topic. Oh, and while you're at it, how about throwing this video a like? You know, as a way of saying thanks. I mean, if you want to subscribe too, I definitely won't stop you. Alrighty, catch you next time.